Hello, today I am Rutkar and Ritvika Luthra are going to present on Sustainable Sites Credit 6, which is the light pollution reduction. This credit applies to these following areas, which gives them 1 point each. First, let's look at the intent of this credit, which is to increase night sky access, improve nighttime visibility, and reduce the consequences of development for wildlife people. Now, let's look at the requirements for this credit. The uplight and light trespass requirements are supposed to be met either by option 1, backlight applied glare, bug method, or option 2, calculation method. These requirements are also to be met for all exterior luminaires located inside the project boundary, except for those listed under the exemptions. These are based on the photometric characteristics of each luminaire when mounted in the same orientation and tilt as specified in the project design, and the lighting zone of the project property. These are classified under one lighting zone using the lighting zones definition provided in Illuminating Engineering Society and International Dark Sky Association Model Lighting Ordinance User Guide. Now, let's look at the three requirements which are supposed to be fulfilled. The uplight requirements, light trespass requirements, and internally illuminated exterior signage requirements. All the three requirements are supposed to be dealt with either option 1 or option 2. For the uplight requirements, option 1, bug rating method. You do not exceed the following luminaire uplight ratings based on the specific light source installed in the luminaire. As mentioned in the table 1, there are maximum uplight rating for luminaires for each MLO lighting zone. Option 2, calculation method. In this, a maximum allowed percentage of total luminaire lumens emitted above horizontal are assigned for each lighting zone. For light trespass requirements, option 1, the bug rating method. In this, you do not exceed the following luminaire backlight and glare ratings for each assigned lighting zone. Option 2, calculation method. In this, you do not exceed the vertical illuminances at the lighting boundary for each lighting zone. Finally, the internally illuminated exterior signage requirements. In this, you do not exceed a luminance of 200 candela per square meter during nighttime hours and 2000 candela per square meter during daytime hours. There are few exemptions from uplight and light trespass requirements, which have been mentioned below. Let's look at behind the intent for this credit. Artificial exterior lighting not only provides human safety and comfort, it enables us to productively use more hours of the day. If done correctly, it can provide us a lot of advantages such as safety, security, building identification. However, poor lighting decision causes light pollution. Now, light pollution is the misdirection or misuse of light, which is generally resulting from an inappropriate application of exterior lighting. Light pollution creates an abundance of environmental problems. The wildlife species that hunt for food at night may be unable to feed. Some flora and fauna are unable to adjust to seasonal variations when exposed to light pollution. Good lighting decision involves reducing three forms of light pollution: uplight, glare, and light trespass. Now, let's look at step-by-step guidance for this credit. Step 1. Establish exterior lighting project goals. Determine which team member will be responsible for the lighting design, luminaire selection, and overall lighting concept. Step 2. Determining a particular lighting zone, which is usually done by the lighting designer of the project. Step 3. Establishing this lighting boundary. A lighting boundary is established and any modification done to this boundary will need a justification. Step 4. Prepare site lighting design. Prepare a site lighting plan based on the lighting zone designation and develop a luminaire schedule for the project, selecting luminaires that eliminate or minimize uplight and light trespass off-site. Step 5. Determine exemptions. These exemptions could be emergency lighting, government mandated roadway lighting. Step 6. Select compliance option for non-exempt lighting. Determine which method of compliance documentation the project team will follow for all non-exempt lighting and for each of the two sets of requirement. The two compliance methods are the bug rating or the calculation method. Step 7. Gather data on luminaires. This could either be done by listing the backlight, uplight, and glare ratings of each unique luminaire for the orientation and tilt specified in the project design, or by showing the total lumens per luminaire and lumens emitted above horizontal by each luminaire. Step 8. Evaluate uplight compliance. Determine compliance with the uplight requirements and make any necessary adjustment to the preliminary lighting design. Step 9. Evaluate light trespass compliance. Determine compliance with the light trespass requirements and make any necessary adjustment to the preliminary lighting design. Finally, Step 10. Select compliant, internally illuminated exterior signage. Choose luminaires that meet the threshold requirement for light pollution and light trespass given in the credit requirements.
Alright, now we start with getting some additional information. Let's talk about how to choose luminaires. We should determine bug ratings, calculations for luminaire combinations, and also its angular positions. Secondly, the luminaires with limited field adjustability should be assumed to have maximum tilt. To meet the credit requirements easily, you will want to avoid using adjustable luminaires as primary lighting sources. The selection of light source depends on how much light is needed to feel comfortable. By following these recommendations, projects can achieve lower light levels. It is also important to note that light levels lower than recommended should be approved by the owner or possibly by the local jurisdiction. To classify luminaires and their light pollution, they are divided into three categories: backlight, uplight, glare. Glare is also called bug. These are the names that we have heard before. This is a comprehensive system which takes uplight shielding plus glare shielding plus backlight shielding into account. In figure 2, we see uplight shielding, and in figure 1, we are seeing backlight shielding. This limits lamps to values which are apt for a particular lighting zone. Here in the figure, the green area marked is the non-compliant light and the gray is the backlight. Coming to calculate bug values and light trespass. Bug values are given by product manufacturers themselves, and if the bug data does not address the design requirement or there are no data of bug values at all, then ratings can be calculated by reviewing a luminaire's photometric test data and zonal Newman distribution, plus comparing the data with the maximum zonal Newmans for backlight, uplight, and glare. Additionally, there is also a software which can calculate the bug ratings. Coming to calculating light trespass, for this we need to 1. Use lighting design softwares, and 2. Develop a photometric site plan, which should be showing all exterior lightings which have been installed. To explain the photometric site plan, this image is a view if we look at the project site plan around one of its boundaries. Let's talk about vertical illuminance. Definition of illuminance is total quantity of light that falls on a surface. It is measured in foot candles or lux. This is usually measured on a horizontal plane. However, the vertical illuminance gives us an idea of how much light is hitting the facade, a human face, or a building boundary. Mounting height. Essentially, it is the height of the photometric center of a luminaire. This is the way the documentation is done. All the buildings in a group may be documented as one. The various columns are the description that was previously mentioned in the PPT. On this slide, these are the definitions which you will definitely want to go through for the quiz ahead. All the best!